Welcome. And we'll start off with a few songs.
Let's start with a big Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom! Shabbat Shalom! We are not balancing, we are deciding nice, cold yet warm sanctuary. I can play on warm space. And if you all Okay, is that better? Ooh, I hear that too. On page 128, please join me with Yedid Nefesh as we welcome in Shabbat and welcome in our voices. If you've been, I don't know, typing away on the computer today, or I don't know, if you're lucky, laying by the pool and didn't have to use your voice much, we'll use this as a way to wake ourselves up, wake our brains up and all that good stuff. Goodness gracious, I'm just trying to get my prayer book not to close on the page it's on. I think we're good. There we go. Yedid nefesh av harachaman, Yedid nefesh av harachaman, משוכבדך אל רצונך משוכבדך ילי לי 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 אל מול הדרכה. Let's try that one more time. Yedid nefesh av harachaman, Yedid nefesh av harachaman, משוכבדך אל רצונך משוכבדך ילי לי 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 אל מולך דרכה. And how good it is to be together. We join together in Hine Ma Tov. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. One last time. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. I feel like I should take a moment to welcome Maggie Freed, our ritual chair, who's helping us on the Bima tonight, as Rabbi Schechter is enjoying
on
some
vacation.
time for rest and recuperation.
Yes. Well, we welcome Shabbat with the lighting of the Shabbat candles, and we're honored to call up Leonard Cash to lead us in that.
Leonard, there's a microphone here. Make sure it's on. Make sure it's on there. Yeah, it's ready for you. There you go. Got it? Do you want me to hold it for you?
And you read which prayer?
Yeah. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, Help us to find knowledge by which to live. Help us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lechadlik ner Shel Shabbat, and is in, as in Temple Sinai of Glendale's tradition, we'll all rise and join together for the family blessing. You can find the words on the insert or the laminated sheet in your pew. May God bless you and keep you. May he shine his face upon you and grace you. May he lift his presence unto you and grant you peace. May God bless you and keep you. May she shine her face upon you and grace you. May she lift her presence unto you and grant you peace. And grant you peace. Shabbat shalom. I feel like this is a good moment because I know there are so many familiar faces in this room, but there are some non-familiar faces in this room. And maybe we should do that old tradition of turn around to the person behind you or next to you and wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Maybe introduce yourself if you don't know each other. But I think it's a great moment to do that. See, Trader Joe's connections. I mean, come on, those are the best. Let's all join together for Lecha Dodi, which you can find on page 138. I think we're going to do when I think back to my days at Camp Swig, which was Camp Saratoga, which now is Camp Newman. We did this melody. Might be a little too low there. The nice things about different melodies of Lecha Dodi is that the words don't change. That's the best part. So here we go. Yeah, it should work. Let's try that. There we go. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Let's try that one more time. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. You can repeat after me here. Lecha Dodi. So I'm going to teach you how to do this. So I go Lecha, Lecha Dodi, and you guys go Dodi. Try that. Do. Come on, Susie, you got it. Dodi. Let's try it from Lecha. Lecha Dodi, Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor vezachor b'dibur echad, Hishmianu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, Ushmo echad. Leshem ul tiferet velitchila lecha, lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Let's all please rise and face the door. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uv'tzoholav, toch emunei am segula. Boi kala, lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. And you're right in the correct position for our call to worship, Baruch Hu, which you can find on page 146. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach, Hamevorach leolam ba'ed. Hamevorach, Hamevorach leolam ba'ed. And while you remain standing, because we don't need to do calisthenics too much, let's read responsively on the bottom of page, or the middle of page 147. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than from the farthermost star.
We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone.
Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Please join me. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. Let's all stay standing and turn to page 152 for Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Ba'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Ba'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated. When we open the Torah later, I want to share something with all of you. You may have never seen before, so it'll be a little ditty, a little surprise. If you'd all please join me in Ve'ahavta on the top of page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha Veshinantam levanecha, vedibarta bam, veshivtecha bevetecha, uvlechtecha baderech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot beineinecha, uchtavtam Al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem l'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. Any chance we have a volunteer reader? Just would like to do a reading or not? Flo, wonderful. I'm going to bring you the microphone. We're going to, I know you're loud. Where I'm looking at page 161. Surprise me. There you go.
Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter, into the into the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over Jerusalem and yours.
Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Let's all join together in Mi Chamocha, which is not on my page. Page 158. Somehow I skipped it in my book. Feel like we need an energizing Mi Chamocha. Let's do the one where you can start off with the Yabba Bim Bam. So if you don't know the words, you have no excuse not to participate. Yabba ba bim bim bam, yabba ba ba bim bam, yabba ba bim bim bam, yabba ba. Now ay ay ay, ay 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 ay, yabba ba ba bim bam, ay 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 ay, yabba ba ba bim bam. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha Ne'edar ba'kodesh, nora techilot, o sefele, nora techilot, o sef. Yabba bim bam, yabba ba bim bim bam, yabba ba ba bim, yabba ba bim bim bam, yabba ba ba bim bam, ay 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 ay, yabba ba ba bim bam. Ay, 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 yabba ba, ba, bim, bam. You feel energized? Or at least cooled down? Cool down? That's a good thing. It's good because it's just in time for us to get back up again. We're going to move to the central part of our worship, the tefillah, which is on page 164. If we all would please rise. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, V'zocher chastei avot ve'imahot, umevi geula livnei v'neihem, lema'an shemo be'ahava. Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechaye hakol atah, Rav lehoshia, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofeh cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Mi chamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melach, melech memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata l'chachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom, yehallelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. We'll take this time as some time for reflection, private, personal prayer, and please be seated as you are ready. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon Lechol hashalom, ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol eit uvechol sha'a bishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. One last time. Tasim Leolam. And we're going to move into our Torah service, and I'm going to invite up Maggie Freed one more time to help us with that. Please rise as the ark is opened. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, udevar Adonai mi Yerushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Do you want to do Shema? You want to do Shema? Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Lecha Adonai HaGevura, VeHaGevura, VeHaTiferet, VeHaNetzach, VeHaHod. Ki cho b'shamayim u'va'aretz, Ki cho b'shamayim u'va'aretz. Lecha Adonai HaMamlacha, Ve'amit na'aseh lechol erosh. Shalom, 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 shalom. Eitz chaim hi lamachazikim ba v'tomhecha, Me'ushar Eitz chaim hi lamachazikim ba v'tomhecha. Me'ushar. I just want to lay it on the table. Do you need help? Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Please be seated. Go for it. while Maggie's getting her paper, I will address the difference for the moment that we are reading Torah down here. I thought it would be kind of an intimate experience with those of you who maybe don't get a chance to get that close, don't get to really see Torah in action. And also, as I said, there's a little something I want to share with you that those of you who are curious can come to the Torah and look at what I'm going to show you later.
So, Cantor Allison asked me to give an introduction to the Parsha, and the Parsha this week is a double one. It's Matot Maseh. It's often double. They're two short pieces, two short portions, but they cover so much. First of all, Moses talks to the Israelites about the laws of vows with men and women. Then Israel has a war against the Midianites. And then they talk about the laws about the spoils of war. And then the tribes of Reuben and Gad are granted permission to stay on the east bank of the Jordan because they like that better. And then they talk about the itinerary of the Israelites through the wilderness, the 40 years of wilderness. That's almost 50 verses. Then Moses tells the people of Israel to remove the inhabitants of the land and destroy their gods. And they talk about, and God tells them about the boundaries of the land of Israel and about Levitical cities, the cities of refuge. The Levitical cities, because the Levites don't get a portion of land, they have these cities. And then God distinguishes between murder and manslaughter. You probably didn't know that. And then the laws of inheritance as they apply to Israelite women are delineated. And we hear again about the daughters of Zelophehad who get to keep land that because their father died and had no sons. So that's the whole thing.
It's a whole abridged version of Matot Maseh.
Matot Maseh.
So while I am honored to be reading Torah tonight, I'm even more honored of the person who we're calling up to have the honor of an aliyah. We are going to be calling up Larry Cohen, who's a very dear member here. In my short time here, we've had fun playing the drums and singing together and getting to know each other, and it's been an absolute delight, and it's an honor to call you up. And please remind me your Hebrew name and your father's Hebrew name. You can come on up, but I still need Thank you. Ya'amod Arya ben Moshe la Aliyah Rishon. I also should mention that Larry Cohen is a Kohen as part of the stature of leadership in Judaism, and it's an honor to have you up here. So we're going to do this here and open it up for you. I tied this. I tied it too well. Come on, really? Maybe I forgot the right way. Yep. Come on, really? There we go. Two ways, of course. All right. So I'm going to be reading from the orange up there. Do you want to use your tzitzi? Doesn't matter. Whatever makes you happy. Let's try right there. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bacha Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Notei HaTorah.
Amen. Amen. Vayidaber Moshe El Rashi Hamatot. I'm going to go back because I did not start that right. Vayidaber Moshe Al Rashi Hamatot Livnei Yisrael Lemor זה הדבר אשר ציווה אדוני איש כי ידו נדר לאדוני אוי השבה שבועה לעשור עשר על נפשו לא יאכל דבריו ככל היצא מפיו יעשה ואישה כי תדור נדר לאדוני ועשרה עשר בבית אביך בנוריך.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נתת בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Do you want to stay up here a second? So this is what I want to share with you all, because it's actually, the funny part is that I was searching through the Torah because I completely passed over Matot Maseh. It was so short, passed over it, but I found something in the Torah that stood out, and it will tie into our brief yet impactful conversation in a few moments. Has anybody ever seen Shema in the Torah? Does anybody have any interest in seeing Shema in the Torah? If you have any interest, I have it marked here. I'm just getting to it. You're welcome to look, because Shema in the first part of Ve'ahavta, which it is here, I promise, because I purposely, there it is right there. If anybody has any interest in seeing it, please come join us. You're welcome to see it. It's right there. It's where the orange is. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, and there's Ve'ahavta comes right in there. Sometimes you don't have a minute to look. If you want to see, it's right there. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, and Ve'ahavta comes right in there. Where, you know, I don't have my glasses on, so I'm not in that place yet. It's actually, that would be fantastic if I could. Whoa. Yeah, I'm going to say I'll get back to you on the exact portion. Bamidbar, I believe we're in. But it's as you can see, if you look at the Torah, we're not far from the end of the Torah, of Simchat Torah. Laman Tizkeru, she had that, but that was before. That's not, it's interesting is, Laman Tizkeru is not in this part. So this comes up to the end right before you'd start that part. So just thought it was like a curiosity moment that people might find interesting. So, yes.
Some of you, especially if you're new, may not know.
Please come.
But the Torah mantles were
You want to say? It's right there.
by members of our congregation. This one was made by Sister Jennifer.
It's very cool. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. You got it? Cool. Just thought that was a fun thing to look at. Carolyn, did you want to see? I didn't, but in this Torah, only the Daled is really pronounced. The Ayin, not so much. A little bit, not so much. If you see the Daled there, the Ayin's just, I would say, slightly darker. The Daled is quite a bit bigger, but the Ayin's, like, if you weren't looking closely, big, not huge, but not like that one is. Yes. Does anybody know what Ayin and Daled put together the word are? The word is? Seth? Oh, well, that would be good, yes. But yes, Aid, which, witness, which the last two words, the last letter of the first word of Shema, last letter of Echad, the end of the Shema verse. So. Which were to be witnesses. Yep. Thank you. So at this time, I would like to call up Seth Chazanoff, who's going to be our Hagbah. He's going to lift the Torah, and we are going to please rise. Maybe we're going volunteer-based here. Maybe we can get a volunteer to help before you move, to help to dress the Torah. Do you have anybody who'd like to jump in? Dan, come on up. Great, wonderful. figured I'll put it away and then we'll do it. Huh? No, because I want to leave it there because, I don't know, I might find it interesting at a later point. So please rise. Vezot HaTorah asher asa Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe. You may be seated while the Torah is being dressed, and we'll sing a song while we're waiting. Whoa. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. Now al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gimilut chasadim, al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gimilut chasadim. And when the Torah is finished, we're going to let the Torah rest here on the table. There you go. We're going to lay it on the table here for the moment. Careful of the microphone there. You all may be seated. At this time, we turn our conscience, our thoughts, our purposeful thoughts toward Mishaberach, to think about those who are in need of healing, not just of body, but of mind, of spirit, of soul. I will sing the first half. You, of course, are welcome to sing with me and do the prayers with me. And then we'll take a moment for everybody to share the names of those who they're thinking of. You can find the Mishaberach on page 371. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. If you have a name that you'd like to share, please do. I'll scan my hand around. I'd like to think of Marilyn Weiss, Howard Rosen. I'd like to think about all of those who are in our community, who don't have someone to think of them in the moment, that we should wish them all good spirits, positive light, and support. Let's all join together in the second verse of Mishaberach in the middle of 371. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha liavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We wish them good spirit for a quick recovery and good healing. At this time, we will put our Torah away. We're back to that volunteer thing. Is there somebody who would like the honor of putting the Torah away and opening the ark for us to put the Torah away? Open the ark? Okay, I'll bring the Torah up. I'm happy to do that. I got it. Eitz Chaim Hi, please rise. Lemachazikim ba v'tom hecha meushar derachecha darchei noam lechol netivotecha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem. Please be seated. So in your Shabbat leaflets, you may have grabbed a double-sided paper here. I brought a stool. I get to be casual for a minute. The funny thing is that the stool is taller than I am, but that's okay. So if I can sit in it, that'll be fun. I'm not going to worry about it right now. So as many people have heard and know about me, I am like a theater, show bouncer, jumper to whatever one I can. Last night I got to go see Into the Woods at the Amundsen Theater. I'm not always looking for, I'm never looking for philosophy in theater, but there's a lot of it. It's a tremendous amount of it. So I wanted to tie in looking at the Shema, followed by Ve'ahavta, which talks about how we teach our children, how we teach religion to our children, how we pass down our tradition. And I was thinking about the words "children will listen" from Mo Sondheim, but our lovely Barbra Streisand. Anybody who's ever heard it, it's hard not to think of her to some degree. So I went online and I was looking at quotes or references in the Torah that talk about how you're supposed to bring your children up, how you're supposed to teach your children. And I found some interesting things. And so what I'd like to do, I do not want to be the reader in all places. I will start it off, but I would love to have any conversation that you may have. I would imagine that everybody in this room either has children, has grandchildren, is around children, teaches children, some sort of exposure in their life to children. Huh? Was a child at some point. Exactly. And actually, Flo, it's interesting you say that because I think about, I have a 6-year-old niece, and she's the daughter of clergy, and I always think about what does she think about all this Jewish stuff going on? And she's, where I grew up, in a Jewish world, I grew up in Jewish day school. It's different than growing up in a house of clergy. So I always wonder, I always think about, I wonder what Lucy's thinking. Lucy, hi Lucy. So I loved it. It says, in Judaism, every day is Mother's Day and Father's Day. So it's one of the 10 commandments, right up there with the belief in God and don't murder. Talmud regards it as one of the most difficult mitzvot to properly perform. What's so special about the mitzvah to honor parents? And then the quote that comes back to it is from Proverbs. It says, start children off the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it. So I found, I don't know if you all hear what I'm hearing, but I'm hearing the operative word in that sentence is should. Exactly. What should? We think about when the Torah was written, it wasn't the life we're living, not at all. So I'm just curious, if we go by what the Torah says, we go by what the Ve'ahavta tells us. Teach it to your children, post the mezuzah on your door, wrap tefillin, put it between your eyes. I don't know how many of you have children who have wrapped tefillin. I mean, I know my son has once or twice, but more as an experience than it has been as a practice. But my question would be, is because that isn't the way we're teaching them now, is that wrong? Is that the way we shouldn't, if we use that operative word should? So I'm wondering, when you hear the word should, what does should mean? Should to me is equated to ought to. I think, these days, this day and age, we've all learned that no human being, child, or anything else comes in one type. So the world's, we okay? Oh, thank you. I was afraid there's a candle issue behind me. So I'm happy you guys weren't sitting so calmly if that was the case. Yeah, Larry. Right, like the 10 Commandments, which there's a tremendous amount of shouldn'ts, or can't, or won'ts. Don'ts. Don'ts. Right, exactly. So it's a positive. So who determines what should? Anybody? Values. When we go by Jewish values. That's interesting. But I can repeat it. I say that. You can repeat what you said. Right, Maggie, I believe that the mic's not actually on. If you press the black button, and the green button will come on. There you go. Right, so the comment was that you can't command somebody to love, but you can command someone to honor or to respect. Seth? That's what I was saying. You can't command to love, but you can command to honor. Yeah, Seth?
There's a difference between should and shall. Should is you oughta. Think about doing this. I think it's a really good idea. So, give it a shot, as opposed to you will, you shall.
Yeah, that's a very interesting, because it's not commanded. It's just you should. You should do that. So let's move on. Is there someone who can read the second paragraph from many people? Anybody willing? Come on. Come on, we all like to be heard. There we go.
Many people think that honoring parents is some kind of a payback for all those years of changing diapers and paying for college. Actually, this mitzvah was given to the generation who wandered 40 years in the desert, where God automatically provided everyone's needs. The parents didn't feed their children. They had the manna to eat. The parents didn't provide clothing. The clothes grew with them and never needed washing. Nevertheless, it was precisely this generation who stood at Mount Sinai and heard God utter, "Honor your father and mother."
So the reference to that is the phrase, the verse under it from Deuteronomy. These commandments that I give you today are to be worn on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at your home and when you walk on the road, while you lie down and when you get up, which is all from Ve'ahavta. So I think that that this whole thing is very much centered on Ve'ahavta. I think there's so much about how to teach our children to move forward. So let's go to the next one. Somebody want to read the short one that says we learn? Anyone? There you go, Dan.
We learn from here.
We want our streaming people to hear.
We learn from here an amazing thing. The mitzvah of honoring parents does not depend on what your parents did for you, or even whether they were good parents. Rather, we honor parents simply because they gave us the gift of life.
I think, Dan, in a humorous manner, I say, I don't know if you've ever said this, but I gave you life. I can take that away too, which is not a good part of that phrase. But it's similar to what was said, is that you give your life to give a life. Yeah, Leonard.
I've heard it said that we honor our parents not so much to have them honor us, but to teach them so that they will observe us taking care of our own parents. And so when we're old and need help and assistance and stuff, they will have learned that by observing us, and they'll be there for us as well.
Right, so you should teach your children, because it'll, what is it? It's, what was the movie? What was that? Right, teach by your actions, not by what you say. And the last piece there, anybody want to share that last piece from Deuteronomy? Thanks, Carol.
Only be careful and watch yourselves closely so that you do not forget the things your eyes have seen or let them fade from your heart as long as you live. Teach them to your children and to the children after them. Assemble the people before me to hear my word, so that they may learn to revere me as long as they live in the land, and may teach them to their children.
So with that, I figured that was the perfect entree into the other side of the page. You want me to take that now? And if you know this song, please sing it. I think by now, or at least I hope by now, being that I've been around here for a year, I don't care if you can sing. I just want you to sing. So I will start singing, and I hope you will join me, as it's a great one to learn. So here we go. Careful the things you say, children will listen. Careful the things you do, children see and learn. Children may not obey, but children will listen. We just keep going. Children will look to you for which way to turn, to learn what to be. Careful before you say, listen to me. Children will listen. Careful the wish you make, wishes are children. Careful the path they take, wishes come true, not free. Careful the spell you may last, past what you can see, and turn against you. Careful the tale you tell, that is the spell. Children will listen. It's an abbreviated version of it, but I say here we are in a community. We were in a meeting not long ago talking about the growth of the children in our community. And the growth of our community, that's the roots are our children. So always worth sharing a Sondheim and Torah fusion. Gotta love that. So we will begin to come to our closing prayers. If we all, we can have our Torah openers, our Torah ark openers. Whoever else, yeah, there you go. We got Maggie, and there we go. If we can all please rise for Aleinu on page 586. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Please be seated. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו I'd like to call Maggie back up.
As every Shabbat service, we end with remembrance of people who have passed away. This week, we say Kaddish for Gerd Lester, Dr. Bernard Laisman, Don Walschlager, Ted Baker, Leonard Weiss, Al Rubin, Peter Siragusa, Lenore Horowitz, Leonard Sabbath, Eve Francine Marcus, Ilsa Jamin, Arlene Hammer, and Dorothy Brumer. And those for whom we're observing a yahrzeit, the anniversary of a loved one's death, we remember Dr. Harold Marcus, Frida Klein, Joel Kleinberg, David Bernstein, Norman Strauss, Edward Cornell, Sarah Muskies, Robert Myers, Etta Kays, Lionel Lambert, Koppel Bloom, Dana Haskin, Nelita Renskoff, Herman Glazer, Edward L. Key Jr., Nicole Lipkin, and Ronald Jack.
If there is anyone else who is mourning a loss and would like to share their name, please stand and we will welcome you. Anybody else? Let's all please rise and we'll join together on Kaddish, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon v'yomechon, V'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Bagala ubizman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach leolam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechemata. Da'miran ve'alma ve'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. V'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to all and to all Israel. To which we say, amen. Please be seated. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru b'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru v'imru amen. I would like to call up Sally Davis, our board member, to share some announcements about exciting upcoming events here at Temple Sinai.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, it says here I'm supposed to say thank you, Cantor Allison, for all these things, but what I want to thank you for is the tone. It was so inclusive and it was just beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Next Friday night, bring your drums and tambourines when Cantor will be leading a very hands-on musical Shabbat. Other events we have coming up. Our once a month in-person minyan is tomorrow at 10:30 with a potluck lunch afterwards. On Friday, August 4th, we will have a family-friendly outdoor Shabbat up in La Cañada at Memorial Park. Feel free to invite all your friends in the foothill communities for this special service. You'll find details about these events and others in your Sunday blast. Tonight's flowers are presented by Heather Halprin for the yahrzeit of her father and her friend Judy McDowell, Lori Kleinberg for the yahrzeit of her husband, Carol Cornell for the yahrzeit of her husband. At the conclusion of the service, you are invited to join the Oneg Shabbat, hosted by Sisterhood. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. So just a plug for the August 4th La Cañada Shabbat. It's really for everybody. We're going to have, there might be some water balloons. It's a possibility. But there's going to be Shabbat, and there's going to be community, and there's going to be lots of folks. We want you all to be there. So bring your friends. It's going to be a fun night. Let's all join together to close our Shabbat service on page 625 with Adon Olam. That's too low. Where can I go here? Maybe that's too high too. Sorry, we're going to go back here. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, B'chefso Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora Adon Olam, Vehu Haya, Vehu Hove, Vehu Yeh V'tifara Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, V'chefso Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Vehu Haya, Ve'ein Sheni, Lecham Shilo lehavira Adon Olam, Beli Reshit, Beli Tachlit, Velo Ha'oz veHaMisra Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, V'chefso Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Beyado Afkid Ruchi, Ve'et Ishan Ve'a'iran Adon Olam, Ve'im Ruchi, Geviati, Velo Alile, Velo Ira Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, V'chefso Kol, last time, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam. Shabbat Shalom. Please join us in the social hall for Oneg. I'll see you in there in a minute. I'm excited that I get to show off, because if you haven't seen it before, our new Kiddush cups. There are 2 of them, but this is very, lots of thanks from Susan and Philip Hain, who went on a hunt for just the right Kiddush cups. So they were just old. Let's all join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen l'chaim. And they don't taste like metal.
Real metal?
After a while they do. Anybody want to create a challah train here?
Sure.
Touch somebody. If you touch somebody by way of challah, you're touching the challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. Shabbat shalom.